does the black man serve the white man? Why does everything the black man do benefit the white man? Why does the black man say freedom is doing what I want to do? And why is it that everything he wants to do enriches the European?
Welcome to the desert of the real.
Peace, family. This your brother, Mr. Holipsism. The first thing I want to say is that for all you people out there listening to right-wing radio and repeating right-wing talking points and talking about COVID-19 coronavirus conspiracy theories, I just want you to think about this. There's a lot of people that you know that have lost family and lost friends due to coronavirus. So before you start getting out there spreading that type of information, maybe you should be a little bit more considerate of the people who are losing people that's close to them that they love. I'm just saying. I want to give my condolences and my love to my brother Ronan Black, who lost his mom yesterday to coronavirus. And I just want him to know that my thoughts and wishes and prayers and meditations and whatever else is with him. If he needs me, I'm here for any purpose in any way that he would need me. I'm here for him. And I want to give a shout out and just the same to anybody else who's lost their family and friends due to this virus. Um, I know a lot of people want to be, deep Negroes and they want to, get clicks and views. But I think instead of trying to be on some bullshit, maybe you should start showing some consideration to the people that's out here losing things, and consider yourself lucky that you haven't lost anything. Okay, now that that's out of the way, the topic of this video is don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. What do I mean by that? Why is it that when it comes to business and financial support for products, services, and ideas, the default position for black folks is white people? But when it comes to our own, we require our business people and entrepreneurs to walk on water and be perfect before they receive any help or support from us. Now, what do I mean when I say the default position for black folks is white people? If anybody's listened to my videos, at the beginning of my videos, you hear the voice of my unofficial mentor, Amos Wilson. And there's a reason, I've mentioned this before, but I think I need to mention it again. There's a reason why I play that at the beginning of all of my videos. The reason why I play it is because I was at the lecture at the Slave Theater in Brooklyn when Amos Wilson delivered that speech. And when he said that, I consider that in my whole, if I look at my life in my realms of development, my stages of development, when he said that, that is when I had my aha moment. That's when all the information that I had before I heard him say that clicked. It's almost like a runner's high. Like, I don't know if anybody jogs or if they run, but if runners will know what I'm talking about. When you first start running, it's like everything is trying to get working. Like your legs are tired, your breathing is off, you're struggling, your heart feels like it's beating out of your chest, your ankles and your your shins, everything, every part of you is hurting. But you keep running and you keep running and you keep doing it every day. At some point, everything just clicks and it sinks, and then it's when you experience what they call runner's high. And that's when it feels like literally you can run forever without getting tired. Your breathing, your motion, everything is in sync, and it feels like you could just run forever. That was my aha moment when he made that statement. And the statement that he made, let me repeat it. Why is it? Why does the black man serve the white man? Why does everything the black man do benefit the white man? Why does the black man say freedom is doing what I want to do? And why is it that everything that he wants to do benefits the European? So when I talk about white people being the default, look at the way that they have, and this is the beauty of having a system. If you decide to drop out of anything black, what's your default? They got it right there for you, white. If you don't want to live, I don't want to go through point by point, but let me just put it this way. Anything that you don't want to do that requires it, you getting that product or that service from black people, white people will provide it for you. And this is the reason why I always say black, these black so-called black talking heads or whatever, anybody that's not pushing for nationhood wants to be the wives and the children of white people because they don't want to take responsibility for their own environment. They want to leave that responsibility in the hands of the person who's got their foot on their neck. And to me, that's weak. It's a weak position. So that's what I mean. It's like the default is white. So anytime you don't want to support black business, your default is white businesses. If you don't want to go to a black bank, your default is a white bank. You don't want to purchase clothes from your own people, your default is white or anybody else. It could be white people, any other ethnic group. Point is, it's not yours. And if you don't support your own, then your own can't ever get any power because they don't have the numbers or they don't have the people behind them to demand anything. And we are more content with being a scattered group of individuals than we are with being a collective. Now, my question is, how much soul searching, how much deep contemplation, how much fasting, how much meditation, how much crossing the I's and dotting the, crossing the T's and dotting the I's did you go through before you signed up with Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Snapchat, TikTok, WhatsApp, or any other social media platform? What was the process that you went through to sign up? You just signed up. Why? Because everybody else was doing it. Just signed up. You didn't go through any of that shit. But I have personally asked people to sign up to the BAIO website if you believe in land infrastructure nationhood. And I've heard every excuse known to man. Well, I don't know. I got to check this. I got to make sure. Facebook has all your information. All these social or media platforms have all your info. Now, all of a sudden, you got to make sure. You got to cross the T's and dot the I's when it comes to anything that's black. And I'm just using the BIL website as an example. But any black person that has a business knows what I'm talking about. Now, my question is, why reinvent the wheel when the infrastructure is already in place? Any black business you can think of, or any business you can think of, you can find black people that's doing it. I was shocked to find there was a lady, I'm sorry, who had a beer company and a pretty, substantial beer company. I forget what her name is, Celeste something. I forget what her name is offhand. But she has what they call Harlem Brewery. So my question is, and I've tasted the beer. The beer is fine. Beer is great. Why are we still buying Corona? Why are we still buying Heinekens? I mean, I'm talking about on a personal level, and I'm talking about for a business level. If you have to have a party or something, why are you not getting your beer from Harlem Brewery? And just apply that to everything else. Black banks, black farms, black tech companies, any black product or service that already exists. They just need to be supported. Another problem that we have, and I notice this when I go to the African markets, and years ago, I would say back in the 90s, it was different. It's like there used to be more variety, and there used to be more things, especially like with T-shirts and stuff. That's just one, But in terms of products and services, it used to be more variety at the African markets. But what happened is lately, I don't even know if they even exist anymore. And if they do, it's anywhere with the energy that it used to have. The problem is there's too many people doing the same thing. If you got 20,000 people selling incense and oils, you kind of cancel each other out. If everybody's selling, cowrie shell jewelry, everybody, then you kind of cancel each other out. There doesn't seem to be a lot of variety. Not a lot of black tech do I see at these African markets. Um, the Black Expo, I don't even know if that exists anymore. Same thing. I used to go to the Black Expo and I would see um, the CIA would have a booth there, the FBI would have a booth there, McDonald's would have like all of these places with basically white franchises would be at the Black Expo. Didn't make much sense to me. And we always asked, we used to go through the expo with a microphone and camera, asking the guys and the ladies at the booths, what does a Black Expo mean to you? And then they would say, oh, well, it's about black businesses supporting this and that and whatever, and us supporting each other and fight the power and blah blah blah. Everybody got their fist up. And then the next question we would ask is, should there be white businesses at a Black Expo? And everybody start hemming and hawing and getting nervous. This is at a Black Expo. And one of the reasons why, one of the things that we need to realize is that monopoly is not a pejorative in capitalism. In fact, the end game of capitalism is a monopoly. Total control over every fucking thing. For example, Amazon is not the bug of capitalism, it's the feature. Amazon is the end result of capitalism. When you control and dominate an industry or a market so much that you phase everybody else out, crush all the competition, and now it's only you left. That's the purpose. So then, if other people have gotten this and people are merging together to consolidate power, why aren't black businesses doing this? Especially black businesses that do the same thing. Like Vince McMahon, his father ran the WWF before it was the WWE, and it was basically his own wrestling federation, but there were other federations throughout the country. Vince McMahon's father had a gentleman's agreement with all of these other federations that he wouldn't steal their talent, he wouldn't try to compete against them, directly, and things like that. Once Vince McMahon Sr. died and Vince McMahon Jr. took over the company, that shit went out the window, and he started gobbling up the talent from all of those other federations until now you have what they call the initially the WWF and now the WWE. He made, he took it over. He monopolized it. Now when you think of wrestling, you think of Vince McMahon and you think of the WWE, and you don't know who those other organizations were if you're not a real wrestling fan. See what I'm saying? Black businesses need to merge together to form conglomerates and cartels. That's basically it. We have everything in place. Like I'll use One United Bank as an example. One United Bank is the biggest black bank in America. So that bank needs to be supported by all black people in America. Now, this much I'll give to you. I will give this to you, and I don't want to make it seem like I'm just bigging up these black businesses and I'm not addressing the reasons why a lot of y'all don't get with these black businesses. These black businesses have to step up to the plate. In the terms of One United Bank, there's some things that they have to do in terms of credit to the people who are on their debit credit cards. That artwork, whoever that artist is, needs to be credited. They need to get something out of that. They got to make that right. You have to have better customer service. If you have to get your debit card, you shouldn't be waiting weeks and months to get your debit card. So yeah, These businesses have to step up to the plate. If we're going to support them and we're going to pour all this money into their business, then they have to, that gives us some say in how they do business. And then that way they can step up to the plate, make their customer service better, make their business practices better, and not treat your own people like, knuckleheads or second and third class citizens. If we're coming and saying, yo, we want to support this bank, then you got to step up to the plate and do what you got to do. Be a professional. Don't just be the black bank like it's some, second class bank. Let it be a first class black bank with top class service. That's the whole purpose of black people supporting it in the first place. Now, the final thing that I want to say is something that my brother has always said. He loves this saying, and I like it too. It's the definition of power. And you ain't going to find this definition in the dictionary, but this is ultimately what power is. Power is the ability to define your own reality and have others submit to your definition as if it were their own. I'll repeat that. Power is the ability to define your own reality and have others submit to your definition as if it were their own. Now, let me ask you a question. If that's the definition of power, does it make sense that you got black talking heads saying we can do it right here? How is doing it right here defining your own reality when right here doesn't even belong to you? On a socioeconomic and political level, it belongs to someone else. Someone else is in charge of the government. Someone else is in charge of the power bases. Someone else is in charge of the security and the military. Someone else is in charge of the communications and the technology. And that someone else is not you, it's someone else. So if power is the ability to define your own reality, how do you define your own reality? By first controlling the socioeconomic and political context that you exist in. And how do you do that? By having your own nation. This is fairly simple shit. The only reason why it's made complicated because there's a lot of Negroes who have a vested interest in you being without power. Because then they can sell you all types of material explaining to you why you don't have power perpetually with no solution in sight. Just more information from them that you got to keep reading and reading and reading, but we don't ever have a solution to get out of the problem that we all collectively are in. And an example of power is the ability to define your own reality and have others submit to your definition as if it were their own. I'll give you some examples. Why do ladies love Cool J? Because he said they do. As a fact, whenever you say LL Cool J, you're basically co-signing his whole brand. When you say LL Cool J, you're saying ladies love Cool J. Why? Because that's what he named himself, and that's what you're repeating because he defined his own reality, and you're submitting to his definition as if it were your own every time you say his name. Let me give you another example of power. This is something I had a conversation with Dev, and this bugged him out. Rest in peace. We were talking about Jay-Z's song where he says, what's my motherfucking name or what's my name, Jigga and whatever. And I said, I never sang that song or the chorus to that song. And Dev asked me, well, why? I said, because what's my motherfucking name is usually what a nigga is saying when he's fucking his girl. So when I hear Jay-Z say, what's my motherfucking name? And then he also says, niggas better get it right, bitches better get it right. Meaning he fucking all of y'all. And he's making you say his name while he's doing it. That's why I never repeated that. Because I'm like, nigga, fuck that shit. I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. Ain't doing it to me. I feel you though. I ain't mad at you. I see what you're doing. But that just proves my point, and I rest my case on that. Power is the ability to define your own reality and have others submit to your definition as if it were their own. So my thing is, don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. Don't sit back and expect for every black business to walk on water before you support it. You have to support it before they can walk on water. Because then you got some say. If I have a bank account with One United Bank, I can talk to One United Bank and say, hey, y'all fucking up. You need to get your shit right. Why? Because I'm a customer. I'm in your bank. I'm putting money into your bank. If you're not putting money into the bank and supporting it, then you got no say. So that's all. That's all I want to say. I didn't even expect this to go 20 minutes, but apparently it did. But anyway, I will holler at you good people later. Peace.
You can't compare to the status right here. Legendary worldwide, we can battle right here. Listen, Junior, I'ma tear back your wig. This ain't TV, but I'll show you what a fear factor is. Stop grilling me, and all that fronting is killing me. You leave me no choice but to hurt your feelings, G.
About to slap rappers around the